Hey Sass Squad, welcome back to the channel. So I have another kind of spicy but actually felt pretty good team that I wanted to share with you. So in my previous video I was showing off Weavile a little, and I decided to try to run a team with Mega Venusaur. I do have Trick Room with Farigiraf and to stop priority, maybe even switch it in with Farigiraf with it in the back line to stop a fake out. I am running a support Blastoise with Life Dew, and I have Snorlax with Curse, and Altaria with Cloud9, which has Will-O-Wisp, Breaking Swipe, and Dual Wing Beat to help get rid of Sneaslers at times. So this first battle I decided to lead Weavile plus Snorlax, and I was gonna use Fake Out into Meowscarada. I don't know, it was just kind of like a gamble here what they might do, but they actually switch in Farigiraf to shut down my priority, and then they're gonna U-turn out here with Meowscarada to reposition themselves. So they bring my Weavile down to my Sash, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I think I get, I think I went for Curse here on Snorlax. Arch-Eladon is gonna switch in. And yeah, so pretty much I'm running a Snorlax with leftovers, Curse. I think it has Brick Break, Body Slam, and I'm also running Heavy Slam for the fairy types. So I am just going to double into Arch-Eladon with a low kick and Brick Break. I just figured I might as well just let Weavile go down here. I don't know how much more value I'm going to get out of it this match. And some chip damage off on Arch-Eladon could be really nice and put me in a better position overall. Stamina is activated, and they will Flash Cannon Weavile to remove it, which makes sense. They don't want to just let it be sitting here doing stuff while it outspeeds. And I think I decided to bring in Venusaur here because I had really good positioning. And also Venusaur is going to look really good against this team now that they've revealed their entire line, well, at least 3 of their 4. Because I am running Earth Power, and I have no speed investment at all in my Venusaur. I've invested everything into special attack, HP, and defense, so I bulked out this Venusaur. Even though I'm running Chlorophyll in its base form, I just figured there's really no point to outspeed the other Venusaur on the opposing team if I'm more bulky than them. And yeah, I am running Modest Nature, so I am like more of a hard-hitting, bulkier Venusaur. So yeah, anyways, they just forfeit because I think they just realized Venusaur is going to be able to pretty much wall majority of the things they brought with them. So very fortunate, and you know, it wasn't really revealed yet what my moveset was. Maybe they were expecting some Sleep Powder shenanigans. But in the next battle, it looks like a rain team, and I was thinking that Venusaur looked really good here. So I'm thinking maybe I lead Venusaur with Farigiraf, and I bring Altaria for a little bit of weather control, and Blastoise in the back, just because it's probably going to be able to deal with a lot of the team by taking hits, and it could be good support. I'm going to go for an Earth Power Helping Hand immediately turn 1, because they can't use any priority on my side of the field, so I wasn't entirely sure what they might want to do here. I mean, based on the team comp, I was assuming they might be a support Sableye with the screens. I mean, Sableye is always a support for the most part, but you can run so many different moves that you don't always see them running screens. So they do end up going for Light Screen, which will enable their Kingambit to actually live this Earth Power, which is okay. They're going to go for a Kotal Cleave into Farigiraf, and my Farigiraf I've also built Bold Nature and tried to invest in the defense so I can take these Kingambit attacks a little bit better. It works out in my favor, and I could just go for another Earth Power, which is my plan, And I think I decide to go for a Dazzling Gleam here as well, thinking that a Dazzling Gleam is going to really hurt Sableye. They decided to switch out Sableye and bring in Venusaur, maybe suspecting I might have something like that, or maybe just a wall. You know, maybe they think I have Sleep Powder, and I'm going to try to put Sableye to sleep, and they're trying to prevent that. Maybe that's what the switch was for. But they do protect on Kingambit, which will allow them to live. I will use Dazzling Gleam and just gets a little bit of chip off of their Venusaur. Not really a lot. And on the following turn, I am going to go for another Earth Power into Kingambit, just to get rid of it. They're either going to switch out or let it go. And I think I just go for Light Screen to bulk out my team a little bit. And they do reveal it is Mega Venusaur as well. And they already have Light Screen up on their side of the field, so they are already bulked out pretty good. They are going to go for Sucker Punch. I didn't really understand this. I was thinking maybe they thought I would try to switch out Farigiraf here to preserve it, which would enable them to get off the Sucker Punch into, I'm assuming they were targeting Venusaur. So I got kind of lucky, I guess, that I didn't switch out. But I wasn't really planning on switching out either, but I guess it was definitely a play. You know, maybe some people would want to save their Farigiraf or Trick Room later, but I saw the value of getting up a Light Screen. They end up bringing Basculegion in, which can be extremely problematic. So what I'm going to do here, I think I go for Protect on Venusaur to waste a turn knowing that they're going to target it, maybe even double target it, and I'm going to try to get up a Trick Room. They end up using Protect on Basculegion. I feel like they were being a little paranoid because they should have been faster than me. I'm pretty sure Last Respects, even at this range, would have removed Venusaur potentially. But yeah, I am going to get up the Trick Room. And from here I can actually Giga Drain into Basculegion now. And I'm going to go for the Helping Hand. So surprisingly, though, this isn't enough damage to remove the Basculegion. I don't know. I was definitely impressed by that, but Sludge Bomb comes in. Oh wait, they have Light Screen up, that's why. I almost forgot it was still up on their side of the field. I think it's still up. I think it ends here soon. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense now. I was like, yeah, that it all comes together. Anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna just actually stay in here. I think I could just go for Dazzling Gleam and Sludge Bomb. I figured I feel like they only went for Aqua Tail here because they knew they were losing Basculegion. I felt like they just wanted to see the Pokemon's name on the screen one last time. And I mean, because like I don't think they were using these priority. Like they had to have known about Armor Tail. But then again, they could just be renting. Like I don't know if this is Cybertron's team or not. Actually, maybe this is the team he built and they're just renting it. So it's like maybe they're not really as understanding of how the Pokemon work or function. Who knows? But overall, took them down. This is actually a deceptive game. So this person's running some sort of Trick Room Snow team, which, you know, when I was looking at this, I was thinking this should be cake. I'm even going to bring Venusaur just because Mega Venusaur's ability is Thick Fat, which does pretty much remove the weakness from fire and ice. And like I was saying earlier, I built my Venusaur to be bulky and offensive, so it can take some hits. Also, if you're watching this, please hit the like button. It does help my content on YouTube, and I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers on my VGC channel here. So if you're enjoying this video and you've gotten this far, please subscribe. It does help out, and you could always unsubscribe later if you really want. But if you enjoy, you know, you can follow a bunch of people that are showing you the top meta picks all the time. And, you know, I do run them occasionally on my teams. I feel like that's part of the game. But I've always loved to play Pokemon games, to be a little more creative and enjoy it. And, you know, once you get Master, you're good. You're pretty much good in this game. Like, yeah, you can reach champions, you can go compete in regionals. But I feel like even team building for a regional versus how you would play ladder is going to be a little bit different. And I feel like ladder enables you to get a little more spicy or unpredicted, or kind of go against the grain here about what you would do. Oh yeah, I wanted to say about this battle. So the freaking no guard Machamp with the dynamic punch, and then I was like, dang, that's so unlucky. And I'm like, I could switch out here, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna risk it for the biscuit, and at least Ice Cold Crash will be 100% accurate on this Machamp. So I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna keep it in, let it hit itself in confusion. With my type of luck in this match, I'm surprised my Weavile didn't hit itself in confusion. But I do get the flinch, so that's actually a pretty amazing play. I go for Giga Drain into Melodic, and I'm not afraid of the ice move. Like I said, Thick Fat should allow me to tank a couple of these, especially being non-stab. Like, look at that, that's beautiful. But, of course, they get the freeze off on my Venusaur. And this is the thing when you're playing on the when you're playing Pokemon in general, and not even just this game. These type of status conditions that occur can just be game changing. I mean, they've like made things a little bit better, I'd say. Like, I feel like sleep doesn't feel as powerful as it was once. But yeah, the fact that I got frozen turn 1 by Ice Beam is just unfortunate luck. I'm pretty sure it's only 10% that it can occur. And I'm guessing you can almost assume that once this Crabominable came in, I was like, I think I might actually be cooked here. Like, I might actually be kind of screwed. So I decided to switch out Weavile because maybe I could try to take advantage of a fake out later in the match, which actually was a really good call on my end. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to include this battle, was just like, dang, this team, this battle was such a roller coaster. And a lot of it was just because of the fact that I got frozen with Venusaur immediately. Because Melodic would have been gone by now. I mean, there would have still been the Crabominable to deal with, but I still would have some good tools to deal with it. So yeah, of course, Crabominable is going to remove me, and Venusaur is gone. And from here, I'm like, okay, well, I have Farigiraf, so Dazzling Gleam should at least do some sort of chip damage to this Crabominable. Like, all I really have is to go for a Rock Slide plus Dazzling Gleam. And yeah, maybe you've noticed I'm running a physical Blastoise. I don't think I really mentioned that. So a part of this team was to be like a deceptive team preview, you know, because there's multiple Pokemon on my team that could be Mega. I mean, even Altaria could technically be Mega Altaria. But I'm running a lot of these Pokemon, I feel, a little different than what you would maybe expect, because I think Water Spout Blastoise is very common. And I mean, I'm running a physical Blastoise. I just figured I wanted to use like a fake out Blastoise to pivot and heal up my team with Life Dew, and then in Trick Room I could just spam Rock Slide for the flinch potentially. That was kind of like the idea, I guess. It's not like it's super oppressive and strong or anything, but I just felt like it's actually not terrible. So yeah, of course they get burned on Scald on Farigiraf, by the way. And yeah, I'm just chipping away here, which, you know, in a lot of ways, like, actually kind of did help out a little bit. I mean, they go for Thunder Punch. I mean, they could have like single targeted into Farigiraf or something here. Maybe they thought maybe that would even just one-shot Blastoise. But like I was trying to say, my Blastoise is built to be a little more supportive, EV-wise as well. I'm pretty sure I built out the defenses and HP. And put just like a minimal investment in attack. I wasn't really trying to go for like a max attack Blastoise or anything like that. So yeah, unfortunately, I could have maybe gone for a Life Dew here, but I almost thought like, I'm probably going down with Blastoise. Life Dew here would have been like insanely good, but get a little bit of chip damage on Melodic, which ultimately does matter. Like, all this chip damage on Melodic, I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it all matters. Like, everything that's happening actually really matters. And from here, I'm just in the advantage being faster, of course. So Crabominable, I was assuming it would go down to the Dazzling Gleam here. And it's just a matter of, like, I was like, maybe I can heal up, but of course Melodic's faster, and It is able to Draining Kiss me, removing Blastoise. But I still have Weavile, so I was like, I'll be able to remove Crabominable here, more than likely. And then I can fake out with Weavile. Even if they protect, you know. I figured maybe a combination of the Night Slash plus like Dazzling Gleam should be enough here. I mean, I didn't know, like, they didn't really reveal. It didn't seem that they maybe had a spread move. I don't recall if they really showed. They showed Scald. They showed Protect, I think. But yeah, they just end up quitting. So, very fortunate for me. That like sometimes these melodic, they can get out of control if you're not careful. Alright, so this should be the final battle. And I did some really cool stuff in this battle. I really wanted to showcase this one because I don't know. Sometimes when you're bringing something like Cloud9 or Farigiraf on your team, bringing in the backline can actually be a really great switch-in to shut down your opponent. And I was pretty much assuming this was going to be a Charizard Y. I could have been wrong, which could have, you know, gone the opposite direction of where it needed to be. But I was thinking, you know, unintentionally, I was like, wait, I could be baiting a Solar Beam here. I was originally going to fake out Charizard and just go for a Body Slam or whatever, but then I was like, wait, I could just switch in Altaria, assuming they're going to try to Solar Beam Blastoise turn 1, and maybe even they might go for like a Volt Switch into Blastoise, which Altaria should be able to eat that, and I'm going to just Body Slam with Snorlax into Charizard. And what's so amazing about this is, because of Cloud9, whenever the Charizard uses... yeah, so it is Charizard Y. Whenever it goes for Solar Beam, it's actually going to be locked into 2 turns now. So this first turn, it's just going to start charging. And because of Cloud9, the effects of weather are removed from the field while Altaria is here. And not to mention, Altaria is 4 times resistant to grass. So not only am I going to pretty much get a free turn here, I'm also going to eat the move. So I get 2 free turns, technically. Not only am I tanking a move, I'm actually getting like so much value out of this. I thought this was like one of the coolest plays I did on the team when I was testing it out on ladder. I was like, dude, I mean, I had a lot of really cool stuff like this, but I don't know, I feel like sometimes when you're playing Pokemon, there's so many like nuances on how you can actually play, and I don't know, I mean, Altaria is not like terrible. It's not like great, but I feel like in the context of how I was trying to utilize it on the team, I was like actually really impressed. And I mean, like, even Scarlet and Violet, I ran a Perish Trap team with Altaria, with Terra Steel, which you can definitely check out on my channel. I do have a couple videos of that team if you want to see how I worked that out. But yeah, so as you can tell here, I just am able to get rid of Charizard because between the 2 Body Slams and the Breaking Swipe, that will be enough damage. That's mainly why I went for Breaking Swipe here. I just wanted to get some chip damage on Rotom, and I knew I just needed a little bit more there to ensure the knockout with Body Slam. Snorlax also was kind of like amazing. I mean, granted, I don't want to be in on a fighting type like Sneasler, but that's also one of the reasons why I'm running Weavile plus Altaria. I mean, like, granted, it's not always going to work. I mean, someone can predict it. It's not like... I feel like there's a little bit of shock value to what I'm trying to do with this team, but I also feel like someone could maybe figure out just... It's not as, like, niche or gimmicky as some other stuff that you might see that might catch you off guard. But yeah, I mean, Snorlax with Curse was feeling pretty good. I mean, I didn't have Protect on it, which sometimes I feel like can be problematic. But when I was testing it, I really didn't feel the struggle with it. I felt like I was always wanting to click an attack move or set up Curse, and sometimes get it in there next to Blastoise so I can keep life doing and keeping Snorlax alive. But yeah, I'm gonna Mega Venusaur here. This is actually great for me. I have great positioning. Snorlax is gonna be able to heavy slam on Sylveon as well. For some reason, this Rotom's just spamming Electro Web, which doesn't really matter. I don't really care if I'm slower, because the way I built this team, I tried to bulk out things a little more, knowing that I'm not going to try to win like the speed wars And my main thing is just I'll trick room if they try to Tailwind or something like that. Like that's kind of the idea. But you know, even with that being said, and I have like such a great advantage here, there's still a Pokemon on this team that can sweep my entire team potentially. I mean, the thing is, where this is at with Snorlax, I feel like Snorlax is actually going to be they have to pretty much target everything except Snorlax, especially with the sun being up. So they could one-shot Venusaur with Last Respects, which I assumed was what they might want to do. So I think I protect with Venusaur and I go for the Curse, knowing that they're not going to want to use a water move into Snorlax here, because it won't knock me out. Yeah, I just wanted to ensure Snorlax could take a move. I mean, a crit Wave Crash out of the sun maybe could have been game over, but from here, I don't really have I only have one move that can actually hit Basculegion with Snorlax, that being the Heavy Slam. And it is resisted, but with a couple attack boosts, I should be able to knock it out in 2 attacks. So sitting here thinking, like, I could switch out, but I think, like, ultimately I just gotta, like, waste their time with my second slot since Basculegion's a single target Pokemon for the most part. They're gonna one-shot Venusaur, but that's fine, I don't really care. Like, at this point, it doesn't really matter because I'm just playing it safe with Snorlax. And one thing I was thinking actually was, there's actually a chance this is a Scarf Basculegion, and if that is the case, which it actually started to feel like maybe it is, they really can't do anything anyways. They can't hit Snorlax with Last Respects. I'm immune to ghost moves. So yeah, they can knock out all 3 of my other teammates in like a couple turns, but ultimately it isn't actually going to matter because they can't touch Snorlax. So yeah, I mean, I think that's maybe what even happened here. I feel like Choice Scarf adaptability is a very common combination with Basculegion as like a revenge sweeper type thing. But yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna safely get up the Curse. And from here, I was definitely thinking it's time to go on the offense because they're going to want to target Altaria, and I will go for the Protect to waste a turn so I can engage. I wasn't really sure how much the Heavy Slam would do with +3 attack. I think that's where I'm at. And I was just trying to gauge it at this point. Either it was going to be a 2-hit KO or a 3-hit KO. So I didn't want to mess around in case it wasn't Scarfed. I mean, they could always crit me, which could just one-shot me at that point. But yeah, that does way more than I was even thinking. And pretty much they're going to Last Respects and connect with Altaria here. And that is totally fine because from there, Heavy Slam will connect. And yeah, I mean, like, this Basculegion did take 3 of my Pokemon down, but doesn't it really matter when it couldn't finish up shop anyways? You know, inevitably it's going to be a loss because even if it wasn't locked into Last Respects, I think more than likely I would have been able to tank the water moves with my defense boost. Alright, thanks again for checking out, and with that being said, the Sass Squad's getting stronger each and every day. You have a good morning, evening, afternoon, returning, and I'll catch you in the next one.